Have you ever wondered if our thoughts could influence the world around us, not just metaphorically, but physically? What if consciousness doesn't create force, but instead shapes the very geometry of reality? Today, we're diving into a mind-bending new theory called Boko Dual Gravity, or BDG, which proposes just that. This isn't science fiction. It's a new way of looking at the universe that connects everything from planetary orbits to the human mind. So, grab your thinking caps, because we're about to question everything you thought you knew about gravity. General Relativity, Einstein's masterpiece, describes gravity as the curvature of space, but it leaves out two huge pieces of the puzzle: quantum mechanics and consciousness. BDG tries to bridge this gap by reframing gravity not as a constant pull, but as a dynamic two-step cycle. Think of it like a cosmic heartbeat, a constant transition from point A to point B and back again. Here's where it gets really interesting. BDG introduces a new concept, the Quantum Centrifugal Field, or QCF. This isn't the gravity we're used to. Instead of pulling things in, the QCF is a gentle, rotation-driven push outwards. It's the engine that kicks off the first step of the cycle. This push is influenced by everything that spins from the Earth itself to the quantum spin of particles. But what determines where things are going? This is where consciousness enters the picture. BDG proposes another field, the chi field, which is linked to an observer's internal coherence, think, focus, intention, and awareness. Crucially, this field doesn't create any force. It doesn't push or pull. Instead, it defines the geometry of the destination. Let's use an analogy the theory calls the Montreal teleological analogy. Imagine you're in Turkey, and you decide you want to go to Montreal. Your intention, your conscious decision, sets the destination. Montreal becomes your point B, but your thoughts alone don't teleport you there. You still have to do the physical work. You book a flight, walk to the gate, and board the plane. Your body and the airplane provide the force to get you from A to B in the BDG model. Consciousness is like your decision to go to Montreal. It sets the destination, defining the geometric path. The quantum centrifugal field, along with the standard gravitational echo that pulls things back, is like your body, and the airplane it provides the physical means to complete the journey. So, consciousness doesn't push reality. It simply tells reality where to go. It shapes the path, and then the physical forces of the universe take over. So, how does this fit with what we already know? BDG is designed to be conservative and testable. It doesn't throw out Einstein's equations. Instead, it adds new layers to them. The theory modifies the gravitational constant, g, ever so slightly. This new effective g depends on our old friend g, but also on the QCF quantum energy and that mysterious consciousness-linked chi field. However, the influence of consciousness is predicted to be incredibly tiny, less than a fraction of a percent, ensuring it doesn't contradict the decades of gravitational measurements we already have. This leads to some fascinating and testable predictions. First, BDG suggests that if a group of people could achieve a state of high mental coherence, they might be able to create a measurable, albeit minuscule fluctuation in the local gravitational field. We're talking a change smaller than 1 part in 10 billion, but potentially detectable with our most sensitive instruments. Second, the theory predicts that the QCF could cause tiny phasey shifts in ultra-cold atoms, something we could test in a lab using atom. Third, since the QCF is influenced by the rotation of the Earth, the Sun, and even our galaxy, BDG predicts that we might find a faint cosmic rhythm, a galactic harmonic imprinted in the drift of our most precise atomic clocks. Universe, according to BDG, might have a subtle pulse that we've just never looked for. Boko Dual Gravity is still in its infancy, a bold attempt to connect the largest and smallest scales of our universe with the inner world of our minds. It reframes gravity as a dynamic centrifugal push guided by consciousness, followed by a gravitational return echo. It's a beautiful idea that we don't create reality with our minds, but we might just be able to help chart its course. Whether it holds up to experimental scrutiny is a question for the future. but it opens a door to a universe that is more interconnected, more dynamic, and more mysterious than we ever imagined. What do you think? Could consciousness really play a role in the fundamental laws of physics? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the frontiers of science, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay curious with us.